Hey, what's going on, Guardians? My name is the Black Link, and today is a major day for Destiny 2, August 23rd, 2022. The Destiny 2 showcase for the future of the franchise just concluded literally seconds ago, and I am here to cover a ton of the news that we've learned today, not only about the future with Destiny 2 Lightfall, which was confirmed. We got stuff like the Strand, a new play space, all kinds of new things. Of course, we also have Destiny 2 Season 18 going live today. We learned a lot about that as well. And we're going to be covering all of that here in this video, so make sure you're staying tuned. But first things first, if you haven't watched the Destiny 2 showcase, I'll have a link to it in the description box below. Bungie streamed it on YouTube, Twitch, everywhere else in the universe. Make sure you go and check it out. It was about 35 minutes, I want to say, of awesome content that we're going to be going through very quickly here. And so, without further ado, let's go ahead and dive on into it. The showcase, of course, starts out with the Lightfall trailer, which confirms a lot of really awesome things for us. Most primarily that we are getting a new subclass in the form of the Strand, a new darkness subclass that's going to be discovered by our Guardians as we're exploring our new world space on Neptune. By the way, on Neptune, apparently we have some pretty awesome cyberpunk-esque cities that will serve as the main hub for our activities in Lightfall. This new city, I do believe, is called Neomuna. There's some confusion whether it was Neoluna or Neomuna. I'm pretty sure it was Neomuna, and it's like you went into any kind of neon futuristic cyberpunk sort of aesthetic in any sort of universe, pulled it out, threw some Destiny paint on it, and then tossed it onto Neptune. It really does look incredible. Callus is going to be probably our primary antagonist for Lightfall, with a brand new Cabal army titled the Shadow Legion. They've been upgraded, enhanced, and granted a litany of new powers from the Witness himself. We've also got a brand new enemy type tied in there titled Tormentors, who are going to be a new kind of behemoth type enemy that will serve as one of the more dangerous things you could possibly encounter while playing the game. These new Shadow Legion Cabal will also have some additional abilities, like the ability to drain and shut off your light, which I'm sure is going to be a ton of fun to deal with over the course of the new expansion. But we get plenty of looks at things here. We get to see the Witness. We get to see some of the new ships, some of the new activities that we're going to be engaging in when Lightfall comes out. But most primarily, we get to see Neomuna on Neptune, an awesome looking new city, and of course, the new subclass, the Strand. This is going to be kind of the decay-based subclass that we all have been speculating about for the last, 8 years. And it's got some really interesting stuff tied to it. The Strand is going to have its own movement-based option with a grappling hook mechanic that you'll be able to use to traverse battlefields all across the system. The Strand itself is said to be made up of psychic energy that connects you to the world around you. It's almost kind of treated like a visual representation of your Guardians gaining telekinesis. And so you can use it in that sort of telekinetic fashion to interact with objects around you, and like I said with the grappling hook thing, to kind of pull yourself around the battlefield. That's going to make jumping puzzles a lot of fun, and they even showed off some of the movement options here. You can grapple to basically anything. It's not like a scripted thing that you can only do in certain parts of the map. You can use the grappling basically anywhere, which is going to be insane for movement options here in D2. There's one clip where they show a Guardian basically latching on to one of those little fallen train railways and then just kind of flying behind the train. It's definitely an interesting looking system, and I cannot wait to get my hands on it. Of course, while we didn't get too much information about how the Strand is going to break down in terms of class builds, we did get a look at the 3 supers tied to Warlocks, Titans, and Hunters. For Warlocks, you're basically going to jump into the air and create a barrage of Strand-based missiles that will seek targets out, hit them, and then detonate. For Titans, you're going to create some Strand claws that will allow you to deal AoE swings to enemies all around you. Almost kind of the way a Behemoth Titan currently works, but you're going to have these awesome green blades tied to your arms. For Hunters, you're going to get something really unique in that you're using a rope dart to swing around and tag enemies in the battlefield like you're a ninja. And yeah, you know, somebody at some point in time is going to make the Scorpion reference. Get over here! It definitely looks awesome. So, in addition to the Strand, of course, with Neomuna, the new city, the Cabal, we're also going to be dealing with some kind of unknown Vex threat. It was very quickly mentioned that underneath it all, the Vex are going to be having some kind of impact on this story as well. We're also getting access to a new list of characters, almost kind of Guardian-esque characters on Neptune called the Cloud Striders, who, while they're not Guardians, have been the people there protecting the city of Neomuna and the people who live there over the last several hundred years. Coming alongside the Lightfall story will also be the return of the legendary difficulty. They spent a lot of time talking about how well received legendary difficulty was in the Witch Queen campaign, and they're looking to bring that back with Lightfall. And of course, completing legendary will again provide you heightened rewards that will supercharge your rush towards endgame when Lightfall comes out. Alright, moving on from there, we got into some quality of life changes that we'll be seeing over the next year, starting with one titled Guardian Ranks. This is going to be a new system to track and promote character progress, and it's primarily going to be for the benefit of new players. The way they described it is, well, addressing the problem of Destiny having too much for a new player to do. I don't know if you've ever had the new player experience as it is right now in Destiny 2, but you basically drop in, there's a million different objectives to complete with no direction on what order to complete them in. It's pretty overwhelming for new players. And so the Guardian rank system is supposed to help with that. It's going to give you a list of objectives telling you what you need to do, challenges to get done, campaigns to defeat, raids to take on, and whatnot. And as you complete those challenges and work your way further through the story to catch up to endgame with the rest of us, your Guardian rank will increase. This way it kind of gives a more coherent story path for new players to catch up to their friends. And of course, in following with that logic, if you're a veteran player, if you're somebody who's been there since day one, you'll likely already have a lot of those challenges and objectives completed, so you'll automatically unlock a higher rank. Veteran players are going to have access to those higher ranks. It's going to be kind of a show-off sort of thing. And other players will be able to see what your current Guardian rank is, so they can tell you're somebody who's been through it, who's been here for a while, who's completed a lot of challenges, and who is ready for the end game. Now, that's not the only quality of life change that's happening. Oh, no. We have got two major changes coming in the future. They didn't give us a specific date for when these are happening, but we know it's supposed to be happening over the next year, potentially with Lightfall. LFG is finally being directly added to the game. That's right, Bungie is putting in their own version of a grouping feature where you'll be able to search for other players looking to do the same content that you're trying to play. Trying to find somebody to run through and plunder some pirate treasure in Grasp of Avarice? Well, now you can finally go ahead and search somebody out in-game without having to go outside of the game's parameters to do so. Really happy about that. The other major change, we are finally getting access to loadouts and a mod manager sometime in the future. Hallelujah, especially as we've gone on with Arc, Solar, and Void 3.0. Build crafting is like half the fun of the game for me. I literally spend basically half my time playing Destiny, theory crafting different builds to do different things. It was so much fun with Void, so much fun last season with Solar 3.0. But man, not having access to an in-game loadout so that you can just swap between different builds without having to remember which mod goes where, which piece of gear you had on where. This is going to be such a major quality of life increase for Destiny 2. Cannot wait for it. Finally, we're also getting a commendation system. If you're somebody like me who's played games, MMOs like say Final Fantasy XIV, when you complete some grouped content in that game, you have an opportunity to pick a player outside of or within the group who you believe deserves special accolades for exemplary behavior or great gameplay. Maybe they were really helpful. Maybe they did a great job of healing you. That sort of system is also coming to Destiny 2. And it's going to be added to playlist post-game screens. So when you finish the game, you see your stats and all that, you'll be able to pick a Guardian in your fire team to give commendations to. And apparently that's going to have some kind of tie-in with the Guardian rank system as well. Very interesting stuff. Really happy about those quality of life changes. But after that, the showcase moved on to what we're going to be doing now in Destiny 2 Season 18, Season of Plunder. And for that, we started off with some story stuff. Your girl Aramis is back. I think we've been talking about this for quite a while. I always expected Aramis to return. They mentioned it on like one of the hunts that you have to do there on Europa, that she's not dead. She's just kind of imprisoned in the ice there. Well, she finally broke her way out and is captaining a massive pirate crew that we're going to be taking on over the course of the season. But it's not just Aramis who's back. The Spider is back. Mithrax is back, and the Drifter is also going to be heavily featured in Season of Plunder. The storyline basically revolves around our Guardians going to chase down the newly released Aramis. She went off, she basically recruited a lot of the remaining hostile fallen houses and conscripted them into giant pirate crews out in outer space. And so we're putting together our own pirate crew to chase them down, board their ships, and plunder their treasure. During the trailer for Season of Plunder, we got a lot of awesome scenes of us kind of storming pirate fleets, with of course a brand new slate of weapons and armor themed towards the overall Pirates of the Caribbean Sea of Thieves aesthetic of the season. But of course, with a brand new season, we've got brand new gear and brand new activities. And this time we've got multiple things we're going to be engaging in. We've got a new 6-player activity titled Catch Crash, which is going to be, again, a Sea of Thieves type ship storming activity. We're basically flying up to some fallen catches and we're raiding them for their treasure. We've also got an activity titled Expedition, where we're basically utilizing some of the exploding engram mechanics from Grasp of Avarice to ignite massive fallen drills for treasure hunting. And finally, a new activity titled Pirate Hideouts, which apparently is going to have us going on actual treasure hunts with maps for darkness relics spread throughout the system. Overall, Season 18 is looking like it's going to be a lot of fun. Of course, we'll have more information about that coming out probably even later today, considering it's live right now and I've got to go and record some of the reset stuff for that. So let's move on here. After that, we got to see a lot about some ARC 3.0 stuff, much of which we already covered in our previous ARC 3.0 video. Again, there'll be a link to that in the description box below. As a part of it though, it was very nice to see the new Titan one-shot melee ability as well as the air dodge Sans Twilight Garrison that they now have access to as a part of their base toolkit. Very interesting stuff. Beyond that, a lot of brand new weapons and armor were shown off. It's all got kind of a pirate sort of theme to it, a swashbuckler theme. Like we've got flintlock weapons, what looks to be like something akin to a blunderbuss as one of the weapons we've got access to, a new fusion rifle that looks like it performs a little bit differently than how you might be used to. But all of that is stuff that we'll be covering in a later video. After that, they talked about the returning D1 raid for Destiny 2 Season 18, King's Fall. The Taken King has risen once again. This returning D1 raid is going to have all the classic encounters, War Priest, Golgoroth, the Death Singers that you remember, and it's going to come back with its classic weapons and armor, a lot of which we got to see in the short clip I'm showing you here. The raid is supposed to be dropping later this week, and I cannot wait to see the race for World's First. After that, we've got a couple quick bits of news before they finish things up. First things first, Destiny is now available on the Epic Game Store. So if you're somebody who uses that platform, you now have access to Destiny 2 and all of its content. Additionally, in a rather big bit of news, no more sunsetting of content. They're done with that practice. You don't need to worry about any more content in the game going bye-bye into the Destiny content vault. It looks like they're moving away from that sort of format and looking to make it so that they can make content more available without taking anything from you. Additionally, all Destiny expansions are going to be free to play this week. So if you haven't picked up, say, Witch Queen, if you're a newer player or somebody who stepped away for a while, this is going to be a perfect week to jump back into Destiny 2. But there we go, that's a lot of the biggest bits of information that dropped from the Destiny 2 showcase for Lightfall Season 18 and beyond. We've got a lot of really awesome stuff showcased today, and I cannot wait to get my hands on a lot of it. They did announce that if you do go and pre-order the Season Pass version of Lightfall today, you will get access to a new exotic auto rifle titled the Quicksilver Storm, available literally right now. So if you're someone looking to go and pre-order some stuff, you'll get some benefits for doing that today. But alright Guardians, that is a quick rundown of all of the stuff we learned during the showcase itself. There was kind of a showcase, like a post-game follow-up, where we had D-Flawless asking a bunch of awesome questions to a bunch of awesome Bungie devs. They did reveal a few other things. Make sure you go and check all of that out. Again, there will be links to all this stuff down in the description box below. But that's the big news. Those are my thoughts. Be sure to leave me yours. How do you feel about Lightfall? How do you feel about Season 18? How do you feel about everything we got to learn about today? What are you excited about? Be sure to let me know down in the comment section below. But I gotta go get this uploaded so that I can do some reset stuff and take a look at that Season 18 goodness. Thank you Guardians so much for watching. And as always, I am the Black Link. You Guardians, stay frosty.